Okay, go ahead. We're all set.
Okay, great. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the September 17th, 2025 meeting of the Danbury Planning Commission. We will open this evening's meeting with the roll call. Ms. Hofstadter?
Here.
Mr. Haas?
Here.
Chair Finaldi is absent and Vice Chairman Kyokyo is here. We do not have any alternates, but we do have a quorum of 3. So we will proceed on. Commission members, you have received the draft minutes of the August 20th and September 3rd meetings. Unless there's any questions or comments, I'll entertain a motion to accept these minutes.
Mr. Vice Chairman, so moved.
Yes. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
So motion has been made by Helen, second by Kevin. Is there any discussion?
Nope.
Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The minutes of the August 20th and September 3rd, 2025 meetings are accepted. For the record, the next regular meeting is scheduled for October 15th. Note that there will be no meeting on October 1st due to Yom Kippur. And before we move any further, I will read the intro to the Zoom meeting notice. This meeting of the Danbury Planning Commission is being held on Zoom as a virtual meeting. Even though this meeting is a virtual meeting, members of the public and interested parties continue to have the opportunity to participate in the meeting in a couple of different ways. You can participate via Zoom and see the audio and video, or you can call in by phone and participate via audio only. Please be aware that we may have to mute your microphone or telephone to avoid an echo or some other background noise. Instructions on how to participate in the meeting appear on the City of Danbury website, and all of the documents and materials that apply to the matters to be discussed during this meeting, including the agenda, are also available on the City of Danbury website. As always, if you have any questions regarding how to participate in the meeting, please contact the City of Danbury Planning and Zoning Department. As a reminder, the entire meeting will be posted on and can be seen on the City of Danbury website. We will follow the posted agenda as per standard practice. If prior to any meeting, any questions or comments on the agenda items were submitted via email to the Planning and Zoning Department, those comments will be read during the appropriate portion of the meeting. And finally, please remember that technology glitches do sometimes occur. Please be patient if that happens. Okay, so we will proceed right to public hearings. Item number 1, MSM, I'll read it. The applicant's attorney has requested that this be continued and opened at the October 15th meeting. So there'll be no testimony taken or given at this meeting, but I will read it anyways. MSM 44 Old Ridgeberry Road LLC, application for revised special exception, revised site plan approval for business, medical and professional office. Sections 4F2B3, 4F2B4, 4F2B7 in the RO zone. 44 Old Ridgeberry Road, C16006, special exception number 325. And as I said, there'll be no testimony at this meeting. It will be opened at this point at the October 15th meeting. So commission members, there's nothing under continuation of public hearing, so we'll go right to old business for discussion and possible action. Item number 1, Riedel Diedel Realty, LLC, application for floodplain permit for 17 Maury Brook Road, G18019, special exception number 802. I believe, Allie, you're going to take us through this one.
Yep, if I could share my screen, Joe.
You're all set.
Can everyone see this site plan?
Yes.
All right, so this is going to be for 17 Meyerybrook, Riedel Diedel Realty. It's that Grenadier dealership that the Planning Commission previously approved in December of 2024. So can you guys see my mouse as well, or my cursor?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so as you can see, where this leader line is, this little dash line, that's where the 100-year floodplain is. In this section here, they're actually proposing a flood storage container. So basically, with all the site improvements and the associated grading involved with the construction of the building addition, there's 304 cubic yards of fill proposed. With this storage here, it provides 342.78 cubic yards of storage. So it increases the flood storage on the site by 38.79 cubic yards. The engineering department has reviewed and approved the proposed grading and storm drainage related to the development. And then the administrative requirements are all pretty standard, complying with the maps, providing the elevation certificate for the building once constructed, and then just certifying that it was constructed pursuant to the approved plans. Again, nothing crazy here. Pretty standard floodplain permit. If anyone has any questions.
And the orange, that's the dealership building that will be
Correct.
built?
That's the building itself. So there's a slight addition here in the front portion.
Okay, commission members, any questions? If
Nope.
there's no questions or comments, I'll entertain a motion for an approval. If you're so inclined.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Okay, do I hear a second?
Yes, I'll second that.
Okay, motion's made by Mr. Haas, seconded by Ms. Hofstadter. Is there any further discussion?
Nope.
Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? This floodplain plain permit is approved. Thank you. Okay, moving along, we have two referrals tonight. The first is an 8/24 referral. August 2025 Council Agenda Item Number 4, Lease Renewal Agreement for Happy Trails Farm, 36 Mountainville Road. And Jen, I believe you're going to walk us through this one?
Yes, I am. Thank you. For the record, Jennifer Eminger, Deputy Planning Director. The 824 you have before you, as you said, is a lease renewal agreement for Happy Trails, 36 Mountainville Road. If you recall, at some point last year, we'd had a referral. The city purchased the property and provided a lease agreement to the Prabilskis to allow them to stay on the premises and occupy the premises and operate the horse farm. That was a 1-year lease. The city is now proposing a 2-year lease of the premises for the operation of the horse farm, which includes the equine boarding and the training facility and other related activities, as well as the residents. Staff has no objection, and we would recommend a positive recommendation, subject to review by Corporation Council as set forth based off of the lease terms and as deemed appropriate by City Council.
Okay, thank you, Jen. Commission members, any questions or comments?
Nope.
If none, I'll entertain a motion for a positive referral.
Yes, Mr. Vice Chairman, I'll make a motion for a positive referral, subject to the conditions stated in the staff report.
Great, thank you. I hear a second.
I'll get it.
Okay, motion has been made by Ms. Hostetler, second by Mr. Haas. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? This referral gets a positive referral.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. And the second referral, or the next referral, is an 8-3A referral. It's a petition of Walid Al-Bakri, Planning Director, to amend sections 4F2, 5A2, 5B2, and 6A2 medical offices. Sections 5B2, truck terminal, warehouse, moving storage establishment, and self-service storage. Section 6A2 and 6B2, banks, business or professional offices, and hotel motel. And section 6A2B and 6A5D, continuing care facility. And section 10D11, trip generator table of the zoning regulations. And there's a public hearing scheduled for October 14th, 2025 for this. And I believe, Waleed, you're going to take us through this referral.
Good evening, everyone. For the record, my name is Waleed Al-Baqi. I'm the planning director. Before I actually share my screen with you, I would like to give you a little bit of background. If you recall, I mentioned to you in many meetings that we are, meaning planning, are working on a lot of modernization of different sections of the zoning regulations. We have been meeting with our zoning commission. We had 2 public workshops and a lot of ideas we are working on. The first stage of the ideas is what you have tonight, which I'm going to actually go over. With that, I will share my screen with you. Can you all see it or no?
Yes.
Okay, great. So as I mentioned before, what we have tonight is our attempt as a planning department, working with our zoning commission to go over a lot of the sections we have in our zoning regulations. They are all outdated and they don't serve the city well as we speak. I will start by going over the outline. If you look at the screen you have, what we actually are proposing tonight can be broken down into 4 different categories. Number 1, it's about medical offices. Number 2, it's about future uses in the city CA80. CA80 is the arterial commercial, which is Mill Plain corridor. Also, we are gonna touch upon future non-industrial uses in our zoning regulations. As we speak now, we have 2 industrial zoning districts. One is IL40, the second one is IG80. And lastly, I'm going to talk about what we call in our zoning regulations, the trip generation table. And I'm going to explain it later on. Let's start with our medical offices. So what you see here is the definition of what a medical office is in our zoning regulations. I'm not going to read it, but just I'm going to explain what it means. Medical office for us in our zoning regulation, it means a dentist, doctor's office, physical therapy, chiropractor, and much more. As we speak now, if you look at the table you see, this is what we have in our zoning regulation. There are 7 different zoning districts. If you look at the table, you will see which ones I'm talking about. So medical offices are permitted in mixed-use regional mall, light commercial, and a special exception in 5 different zoning categories. So what we're trying to do tonight for medical offices is the following. We are proposing a distinction between a small medical office and a big one. A small one is a one that is 5 square feet or less. And we are proposing this to be permitted use in 3 different zoning districts, RO, CG20, and CA80. For big medical offices, which are more than 5,000 square feet, there will still be special exceptions. Also, we are proposing to not allow future medical offices in the industrial zoning districts. And the reason behind this, if you recall, there was a lot of discussions about the city losing industrial land. The fact of the matter is the city is already losing it because there are so many uses that are permitted in the IL40 and the general industrial that shouldn't be permitted or even special exception. The other category we're talking about is future uses in the CA80 district. As we speak now, in the CA80, which is the main corridor, we have self-storage, truck terminal, and warehouses. There are special exceptions. We are proposing to prohibit them in the future. However, existing ones will continue to function and can expand. And you can look at the legal language we have sent in the package, so that we don't want to cause issues for existing uses, but we're talking about future ones that do not exist. Moving on, we also have new provisions that are being proposed for the IL40 and the IG80 zoning district. As we speak now, you will see, which is a big issue. I'm sure it didn't come under this discussion before. We were talking a lot about how to preserve our industrial base. However, as we speak, this is allowed in our industrial land use district. So if you recall, when I talked to you before about a zoning amendment, there was a lot of discussion about how come we are losing it. Our industrial land base. In reality, we are losing it as we speak. So now that's the solution for now, is to make our industrial land base mainly for what falls under industrial category. A bank is not an industrial use. A business or professional office is not an industrial use. The same applies to hotels or motels. The same applies to continuing care facility. So we are trying to preserve our industrial land for what makes more sense. Moving on here, we have a very outdated table in our zoning regulations, and I'm sure you are familiar with what I'm talking about. I have a screenshot of what we call multiplier table. I'm not going to go into all the details, but to give you an example, if you look closely, you will see in a hotel or motel, it's estimated in the table that 10 trips are done each day. So for each bed. Where did this come from? Nobody knows. Does it make sense? No. Is it based on any engineering related studies? No. So the easy solution is to update what we have. We don't need the table. We can just have a clause in our zoning regulation saying all the calculation of trips will be based on the Institute of Transportation Engineering manual. And if it's updated, we will be using the latest one, and we have access to it. So how is that related to our POCD? As you see on the slide, what we are trying to do now is to facilitate the development of medical services and not to make it unnecessarily on us. That falls under the category of actual improving essential personal service, which is a policy in our POCD. We also are trying to protect the integrity of our commercial corridor, which also in line with the policies of our POCD. And above all, our POCD talks about commitment to data-driven decision-making. That's what we are doing. We are basing the proposed amendment on data, similar to the latest, for example, edition of the Transportation Engineering Manual. That sums up the whole discussion and the proposal. I would be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Waleed. Commission members, any questions for Waleed?
I don't see this as changing necessarily the percentage of industrial versus commercial zoning. It's more, how we use each. Is that correct? Because we have industrial is 11% now and commercial's 8%. And I believe you're not proposing anything here that drastically changes that. Is that correct?
To you, Mr. Vice Chairman, that's absolutely correct. However, just to make it clear, all what you see now is you can actually build it or develop it in an industrial land. So the discussion we had previously about, hey, we are losing our industrial land, we are already losing it by allowing such uses in industrial land.
Yeah.
So just to give you an example, Why would a continuing care facility be in an industrial land? It's just what we're talking about. Why would a hotel be in an industrial land? So we are already losing and we have lost. I have examples of areas that should have been kept or preserved for industrial land. However, we don't want to make it too difficult for people who already invested. So if you look at the language that I sent you for the actual zoning regulation, you will see existing ones have an exception.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Very helpful.
Any other questions?
Nope.
I have a couple of questions on the trip generator table. Do you know, are other towns using that? What do other towns around here do for trip generation calculations?
That's a very good question. So what's going on at some point in the past, some communities copied and pasted from each other. So some neighboring communities have exactly the same table that we have, but the one that updated the zoning regulation lately got rid of it.
Great. And do you have any example or any idea how they compare? Are there big differences or?
There's a huge difference. Yeah. So what we have, and I don't have actually examples from the manual of the American Transportation Engineer. This is a standard that any forward-looking community is actually following. What we have now is about more than 25 years old. I did ask anyone I could actually talk to. Some of them are engineers from outside of the city. Nobody had an idea where it came from. It was mainly, this is again, what I believe is the case, based on personal views. It was not backed up by any data or statistics. And you will see why. If you look at the numbers, they don't, maybe at some point in the past, who knows, maybe they made some sense. They don't make any sense now.
Yeah. So previously the applications, in order to comply, had to use our regulations to determine the trip generation, but outside traffic engineering, when they got their own report, they used the ITE, and there was a little bit of a mismatch there, I suppose, at times.
That's exactly the situation.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you. And I'm glad to see some limitations in the IL, the industrial zones, I guess, to carve out some of the uses to make it easier or allow just industrial type uses in there. So that's glad to see that. That's all I had as far as questions. Any other questions or comments before we
I
move
have
forward?
one. I have
Go ahead.
one, Mr. Vice Chairman. In terms of the trip generation table, is it your sense, or have you gotten input from the traffic engineers that we routinely work with, that they would be in favor of this change?
I did talk to a lot of them here and outside. Basically, this is a golden standard. You go by the golden standard, you have to avoid a lot of the confusion we have.
Thank you.
All right, then.
Before you end it, Mr. Vice Chairman, just
Yes.
would like to point out that a lot of the discussion that I have with the zoning commission in workshops, that's all online. If I know you are all busy, but if at some point you would like to know what we are working on, you haven't seen it yet, you will see it. We have it in the YouTube channels online. There are a lot of future projects that we are still working on, but might be a good idea if whenever you have time to get sense of what we are working on.
Very good.
Great. Thank you for that. Great. Thank you. All right. There's no other questions or comments. I'll entertain a motion for positive referral or negative referral, whatever you guys like to do there.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion for a positive referral on this, and I do think we're, clearing up some issues here, and that we're helping to preserve, excuse me, the zones as they were meant to be, utilized. So I would like to make that motion.
Great, thank you, Ms. Hutzer. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. So, motion's been made by Ms. Hutzer and seconded by Mr. Haas. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, this referral gets a positive referral. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on. Commission members, there's nothing under new business, correspondence, or other matters for discussion. Under for reference only, you'll see a few applications for some more floodplain plain permits. And also a new public hearing scheduled, it says there, scheduled for the October meeting. However, we now know that that's going to be pushed to the November 5th meeting, just for your records there. So that Danbury Mill Plain Realty is going to be scheduled for the November 5th meeting. And I believe that's all there is for tonight. Ally, agenda, I miss anything else? Are we all set? Okay, given that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Mr. Haas, thank you. Still here a second. Ms. Hofstadter, thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much, everybody, and
Good work, everyone.
have a great night.
Thank
work.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.